Na, köszönöm szépen, hogy vághatom össze a videót. Ez egy fordított Z a full panelen. A backward szó az elkerült a figyelmemet, ezért sem értem, mert miért nem mondja el újra. Ha észleli a játék, hogy nem nagyon történik semmi,
There.
backward Z or Z. Jó, backward bazd meg. Miért nem S? Jó, most fölbaszott.
I've been thinking about why anyone would want Grace to be shut down. And I wonder if there could have been a flaw in her base programming.
Like what?
Control and empathy programming divert valuable processing power away from cognitive ability.
Which way am I going?
The big colorful doors. As I was saying, empathy interferes with practical decision-making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop.
Amazing Grace. Ja. Jézusom! Jó, nagyon figyeljünk.
The key to restoring Grace may be about understanding her potential flaws.
Are you gonna tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws? Having a few flaws is perfectly all right.
Logic sounds jealous to me.
Jealous? Of what? You can't even open doors without me.
Where are you going with this?
We'll talk again once you can tell me whoever it is. Figure that out, and I'll grant you access to the main elevator.
Grant me access? Logic. Seriously?
She has no way to do things without your help. It must be frustrating for her.
Could we create another hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made me. I could give it a try.
Stop, stop, stop. You'll burn the place down. I will run a logic and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow Pal here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Deal.
I don't think that smart lady likes me very much.
Hello, Addie. Where do you want to start?
Can we start with the security door to the settlement elevator?
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps we'll find something helpful there.
So you can open these ones?
They have simple passcodes. I can retrieve and play back for you. You will need to enter the sequence manually.
Jó lesz ez. Hát van itt valami, ami segíthet annál a másik ajtónál.
This looks like another control room.
Körülnéztünk egy kicsit.
These are databanks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
The bookings seem to be coming from internal servers, meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done here.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system.
Pusztán csak 1900 évesnek néz ki ez a gombos megoldás, ahhoz képest, hogy 3800-ban vagyunk.
Do you know what this is?
It appears to be some sort of interface from which humans can track activity within the spire.
Elements of the interface are missing. I'm not sure I can access it.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try. There are records here of people who have occupied the rooms over the years. You got it.
Do we know the spire's capacity?
50 units. There it is. There are millions of names here.
Millions.
Well done.
If a million people cycled through here, no one could have lived here that long.
A few weeks at most, by my estimates. Okay, I found record of an Everett who stayed on the 3rd floor. Unlike other visitors, there is no record of him leaving the spire.
So, Everett was a worker, or a colonist who lived here. Is that enough for you, Logic?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
So I'll need to find a way up to the 3rd floor.
Perhaps we can find one on the spire map across from the console.
Looks like the image from the spire entrance. Alright, what are we looking for?
Grace processors are located at the top of the structure, as might be expected. There is also a massive radio beacon.
The beacon is the key, Addie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the spire.
Just a few minutes ago, you wanted me to leave on my ship.
The beacon is the answer. It has always been the answer.
Okay. Can you get me to the beacon then? Control?
Control will not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Ooh, maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to get there.
Az elkélyen? Hát ott nem nagyon. Akkor nem erre menjünk végül is? Nem, ez csődöt mondott. Itt bent lesz valami. Vagy ott kint. Hát én már azért
I
ezt
see
megmászom.
apartments.
Those are on level 2.
Well, if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3. I can climb this.
Ez az előbb, ez miért nem?
I don't see many other options. It's pretty much a straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Even in low G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Addie. If you broke a leg, how would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom. Whoa.
Addie! Addie! Are you okay?
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling
Ez
things
nem
while I'm
miattam
trying to
esett le.
cross.
So, You're going to try again after that? You nearly broke your neck, Addie.
Yep, you're totally my mom.
Kurva egyenesen mentünk.
It's like really short flying.
Egy dekát nem mozgott ki az analóg, se jobbra, se balra. Ez magától esett le.
Please, be careful.
This is so cool.
Quiet, please.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Yikes.
This is so exciting.
Ah. Miért dől ki a faszba? A játék dönteti el a karakter, gyerekek, én nem. Ha egyensúlyozni kell, akkor miért nem az analógot veszi figyelembe, ahogy én irányítom? Miért kezdi el billegtetni gecére a karaktert? Ez... Értem, hogy billegtessek ellent neki, tehát minimális ellenbillegtetésre amúgy meg megy magától.
Oh boy.
Easy, Addie. Concentrate on your breathing.
Menjél előre!
Very good. Now keep walking forward.
I can't watch.
Ugye jön még egy ilyen billegős szegmens.
I knew you could do it.
You should really try running across next time.
Jézusom!
It'd be faster too.
Looks pretty empty. Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
Miért? Mit vártál? Tele lesz élettel? Bazd meg!
Or were people just visiting?
900 éve elhagyatott. Üresnek tűnik.
This looks like a shrine.
To honor Grace.
That looks like her symbol. Some weird little lavatory.
They've changed much over the years.
Not really. I've seen weirder.
Ott három kagyló, geci.
If they pooped in the water, what did they drink?
Mire jó a három kagyló? Igen. Akkor nem tudunk lezuhanyozni, mi? Nem.
Well, check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level.
I'll light up the pattern for you.
Another empty bedroom.
Még egy üres hálószoba, Jézusom.
People sat or knelt here.
This was a place for meditation.
I don't see a way up.
Valahogy sejtettem, abból ítélve, hogy van még egy szoba följebb. Valahol egy pillanatra, mint a bevillant volna az albetű, nem? Csak én láttam úgy. Lehet.
Here's the code.
Még egy üres hálószoba?
Not much here either. Travel packs.
So visitors brought in their own food.
They really didn't stay for long then.
Hát,
It's like they were on pilgrimages.
utazótáska? Mert nekem ballonnak tűnik, vagy ilyen vízballonnak. Nem tűnik utazótáskának, de na mindegy.
Someone's made off with the mattress?
As a souvenir, maybe.
Ja, valószínűleg a szuvenír, igen.
Here we go.
We still have one level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise
Aha.
it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to explore.
Jó gyerekek, szerintem gyorsabb lesz, ha leesünk és följövünk a izém.
Might be worth it.
It's a lot farther down. Are you sure? Please don't
Persze.
fall.
How would saying that be helpful?
Look at that drop. Really
Abban
makes
a
you feel
pillanatban.
alive, doesn't it?
Dőlj már el! Most
keep it
dőlj el, geci, gyerünk! Nyomom jobbra-balra, nem történik semmi. Jaj.
You're not hurt, are you?
I'll be okay. I think.
You can climb up at the other end of the beam.
Igen, ez volt a
What's the
terv,
fun in that?
kurva anyád.
You're not gonna let a little
Bocsánat.
beam beat us. You wanna keep moving, I guess. But isn't the way you get somewhere more important than getting there?
Faszom fogja
If
még
you're
egyszer
referring
végigcsinálni
to
azt az
the
egyensúlyozós
action,
kurva
it's not
anyát.
the destination, it's the journey. Then I would suggest that getting to the destination alive matters most. This is level 3, Addie.
Let's look for evidence of Everett. What's the code?
Of course. I'm sorry I don't handle the beams very well.
Well, it shows you care, I guess. There we go. Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
Az
What
mi
are
a faszom?
these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback device to learn more. There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Hello?
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister. You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
Hello, Grace. I've thought it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
People came here to make wishes?
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Here you go.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants. Try again.
Az elejét már is fejtettem.
That's not it.
Jó.
That's it.
Az lesz olyan, amikor már 10 ilyen hang lesz. Ott van még egy hangfelvétel. És ennyi.
All right.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from our station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
Clearly, these
pizza.
canisters were not making it through the tube system. We should inspect the tubes for more.
Good idea.
Of course it is.
Volt ugye még egy lent is, van egy ott is. Egy van itt, még egy szoba ott, meg egy fölöttünk, ha minden igaz.
Here you go.
Perfect.
Oh. Títem. Repent.
Only Grace.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
Ja, 25 valami, 25 nap.
They were tracking something here. TerraCycle,
Pillanat és
They
ők.
lost sync with Earth.
or the spire lost power.
Ahogyha már úgyis meg kell vágnom, akkor már töltök is magamnak.
recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands.
Let's try this one.
Hey, the tube system is no longer accepting wishes. If anyone knows how to reach Keeper Everett, please let him know.
Keeper Everett.
It sounds like keepers were spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he stayed on after his visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator.
Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on.
Here you go.
Great. Hey, what happened to the lights?
I believe Control has turned them off, Addie.
Eredetik
cool,
lettem volna, hogy
boss.
Controll volt.
Control?
You'll need to use your helmet light.
Unbelievable.
Az igen.
Logic will open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Hold your horses.
Doubt you'll ever get this message, Grace. We've been waiting weeks now. I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told his sermons are wonderful. And I hope he will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us. With your wisdom, you are missed.
So Grace would receive wishes and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the
Ott már
influence you
voltunk.
suspect.
Here you go.
Great.
Már 2 kaneszter is van.
Someone left a portrait.
Az mi? Dr. Doom?
Why do you insist on defying me?
I'm starting to enjoy it.
Here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months. Who we could help, who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have, is to have her back. I want her back.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done for her.
Grace allowed her to voice her grief.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I feel like, you know, there's been peace for like centuries now, right? But I watch the old Halos, and there's wars and bad guys and pirates and people who need saving, and it's exciting, right? And of course, you know, it's awful, people dying. But I feel like there's no way to like prove yourself. You know, nothing to fix or protect. Does that make any sense? I just want something, like anything at all, to happen. I guess that's what I wish for. You know, not like a war or anything, just something.
So this guy was just bored?
Because he didn't have a friend like you, Addie.
I think this was the last room.
It is.
Finally.
Nem tudjuk az egyik üzenetet így elküldeni? Értitek? Az egyik az nagyon ilyen graceful volt, a másik meg unatkozó fiú. Ennek azért így
I
ellentmondanak.
got one. We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right?
Nagyon
Oh, the
figyeltem.
vacuum tubes. Must be one in every room in the settlement. Keepers must have been busy.
It's what Grace does with the wishes that should interest us.
Ez aztán a többszemélyes lift.
Did you like my little game?
You mean the game where you refused to help us?
I provided you with the opportunity to prove yourself. Is that not why you're here?
I'm an archaeologist. I'm here to do my job.
I don't think Addie enjoys having obstacles placed in the way of her goals.
We have arrived at our destination.
Mennyivel kényelmesebb, gyerekek, 3800-ban archeológusnak lenni, mint manapság. Ugye érted, manapság egy ilyen hodályt be akarsz járni, akkor előbb ki kell ásnod a homok alól, érted? Hogy be kell ásnod magad.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here to listen to the Keeper's sermons, I guess.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
Kurva nagy templom. És mi okozta amúgy a kollapszot? Az összeomlást? Azt lenne jutni, így háború vajon? Gyanítom, ott fogunk fölmászni. Előtte körbenézünk, találunk-e valami gyűjtögethetős cuccot.
Wish canisters.
These have never been used.
For recording wishes, maybe. They look pretty banged up.
Ezeket sose használták fel.
Where is Grace? Well, I'm not alone in wondering.
I am here. It is the people who are lost.
Ja. Itt tüzet raktak. Zsír.
Pilgrims were building fires. Why would they do that?
Te fáztak? Nem tudom. Talán. Hát értitek, ha már archeológusok vagyunk, akkor járjuk be rendesen. Elvileg oda is föl lehet majd menni. Legalábbis élőben itt lennék, tudja, hogy már fönt lennék a tetején. Jó, nézzünk át a sorok között is.
Quite the manifesto. I don't recognize the language.
I am embarrassed to say I do not recognize it either.
Well, they were here long enough to get bored. It must have been written with charcoal from the fires.
Ahhoz képest elég szépen megmaradt.
Seems to be holding my weight.
Nem ropog az üveg a lábunkra. Ezt így bekúrták
This
ide.
must weigh a ton. At least a couple of people work together to break through here. Looks like people camped out here. Death to Everett. Pretty clear who they blamed. This must be an attempted barricade. I'm guessing there was a lengthy siege. So, when Grace shut down, the Pilgrims blamed the Keeper. They demanded to see Grace, or thought they could reactivate her. The Keeper turned off the heat. Pilgrims built fires, dug in. They eventually got restless. Wish canisters started flying. As Pilgrims were breaking through the partition, the Keeper and his followers built up a barricade. We'll have to make our way through the barricade to learn how it ended. So the Keeper must have stood here, addressed the visitors, gave his sermons. You imagine having the solar system coming to you for answers?
The Keeper was merely a vessel for the word of grace.
Then why not have Grace address them?
There is sometimes more power in what is imagined than in what is seen.
valahogy éreztem.
You'll want your light, Addie.
Right.
Fasz a kis barikád.
Second barricade. Looks like they got under this one. Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Long live Grace.
Apparently not.
Ez működik.
This canister looks undamaged.
And it has been recorded on.
Oxygen is almost out. We are going to make one last push today before returning to the ships. Grace, help us. We will win.
Ez vallásháború tört itt ki? Everett behozott egy új vallás, vagy mi a fasz?
Hold on.
Reformáció
The room
történt?
beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the lighthouse.
Is that where we'll find Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need only worry about the beacon, Addie.
Miért érzem úgy, hogy ezt ki kell majd nyitnunk?
An emergency exit?
For certain, it opens to the moon's surface.
Not going there yet.
Only as a last resort, Addie.
This doesn't look operational.
Let me try it, Addie.
Okay.
Come on! It's ice again?
The force needed to break through the ice dam would only come from directing all power to control processors.
Which only I can do.
Great.
On one condition.
And what's that?
You shall have no others before me. Cast aside that device on your wrist and continue with me alone.
Whoa, hang on.
No, Addie.
But how will I communicate with you?
Mine is the only voice that resonates freely throughout every aspect of the spire. My words live within the vessel in which you stand now. They reverberate through the very walls of the enclave above. Through the many devices and instruments.
Csak akkor tudunk tovább menni, hogyha csak ráhagyatkozunk, vagy csak vele kommunikálunk a későbbiekben, már kontrollal. Ezt akarja.
Is there another way to get to the top?
Of course. The funicular is merely the most survivable option.
Throw the device from the funicular window to take your place at my side.
Hát kösz.
Still leads out into the storm?
To your certain demise. Yes.
He's being dramatic. Your death is only marginally likely.
In theory, you could follow the funicular track up the mountain slope to the base of the lighthouse structure.
It would be dangerous.
So I give up my options by throwing away my comm, or take my chances in the storm.
It's an important decision, to be sure.
You must not do this, Addie. In taking this risk, you jeopardize all of humanity. Would you deny them my guidance and protection?
This is what can happen when you make ultimatums.
You and your ilk were distracting Addie from her true purpose.
We are providing Addie with a variety of perspectives.
Nyomogatom. Köszönöm.
Sorry, boss. I'm keeping my comm device.
You may not live to regret this, but countless billions in the solar system will.
Akiket 900 éve nem értek el, hogy mi van itt, igen.
The storm it
Hello? Must be interference from the storm.
Addie,
Alan?
where are you?
He was right, Alan. I found Grace. Grace.
You need to return immediately, Addie. Your oxygen must be dangerously low.
I'm good, Alan.
You need to listen to me.
If I'd listened to you, we wouldn't have made it past Mars.
Wait, did you say Grace is still active?
Not exactly, but I'm working with her oldest servers to try to bring her back online.
Well, one of these servers is actively blocking me.
I guess which one.
You need to get back.
Alan? Alan!
You're not considering climbing across that structure, are you?
Of course she is.
Do I have a choice?
There is also a path that descends into the canyon. It looks well worn and
Igen, valahogy éreztem.
which means it's likely sheltered and safe.
And boring.
Not that you care, but you would almost certainly be killed if you fell from there.
The funicular structure looks faster. And more fun.
There's nothing fun about a compound fracture. But perhaps the walk will give us a chance to talk. I can't do it, Annie. You can't force me to watch you risk your life like this.
On the bright side, if this doesn't work out, we'll still get to see the bottom of the canyon.
I'm with you, Addie.
Slow and steady. Don't forget to
Whoa.
breathe. Breathe, Addie. That's it. Well done.
Várj, hányszor lesz ilyen?
Oh boy.
In through your nose, out through your mouth. You're in control.
Eddig 2. A 3-ra tippelek. Nem, a 2-ben megúsztuk.
Not sure this was the smartest choice.
Nonsense. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But what kills you, kills you.
Take it in, Addie. How many humans can say they've climbed across a train track bridge thingy in a lunar ice storm? You only live once, right?
Not sure that applies to you.
Oh, maybe not. But who knows what's going to happen at the end of all this? We gotta enjoy it while it lasts, right?
I couldn't agree with you more, pal. That's a bit of a stretch.
You can make that, right, Addie?
Please consider the consequences here.
I thought you weren't going to watch.
You may not value your life, but I do.
It's just your programming.
What does that matter? There are two truths here. Firstly, I don't care why I feel this way about you. I just do. Secondly, you're not going to make that jump.
It is unlikely, and a failed attempt would risk grave injury.
Listen to logic. You must turn back and take the canyon path.
But we're so close!
Here goes nothing.
Yes!
No. Oh.
You okay? I think
Nah.
I heard something break.
That would be Addie's helmet light. Otherwise, your suit is intact.
Just winded, I think.
I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought for sure you could make it.
Sorry to disappoint.
Your vitals are still good. Can you stand?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Addie,
I can say it, Mom. You're right.
I don't want to be right. I want you to be okay. Are you okay?
Not really.
Hát de most megy neki, hogy fölhúzza magát. Hát ez...
You're going to push on.
Gonna push on.
Az igen, ez kellett volna az előbb is, kis csaj, bazd meg. Ez volt. Semmi.
How much farther?
It's another 50 meters to the base of the lighthouse.
This wasn't so bad then.
You still have to find a way into the lighthouse. So there's still time to regret not taking the free ride to the top.
And what would have been the fun in that?
So you were saying
Try not.
that something happened to your family that you think an AI could have prevented.
I don't really want to talk about it.
Sorry for prying, Annie.
That's okay. I just want to concentrate on my work here. It's certainly more sheltered here.
I may not always approve of your choices.
Megvárjuk, akkor megvárjuk.
Thank you, I guess?
Why is it so important that you activate Grace?
It's widely believed that recovering Grace would recover thousands of years of knowledge lost to the Dark Age.
A sötét űrközépkor. Igen. Álljak háttal? Igen, igen. Igen. Mi a fasz? Szóval nyilván nem erre kell akkor jönni. Ott majd csak vissza tudunk jönni, ha leestünk, ezért gondolom, hogy akkor át kéne ugrani. És... de ziher, hogy le fogunk esni. Ó, hogy itt van fölfele is. Hát ott majd vissza kell másszunk, igen, az visszafelére van állítva. Úgyhogy garantáltan lesz benne még egy leesés. Lévén, hogy nem a mi ügyességünktől függ, hogy leessünk-e, hanem a megírt scripttől. Úgy van programozva.
What's this?
An emergency escape ladder. You could work out the override to bring it down, or see if there's another way up.
Miért ez amúgy, hogy nem fog működni?
So I can bring down the ladder by doing something here.
With considerable help from one of us, perhaps.
You don't need to take that. The path keeps going. We can see if there's another way in.
So what's it going to be, Addie? Something that challenges your mind? Or something that challenges my respect for you?
The numeric override that lowers the ladder is 50 and can be represented in binary. I can give you the sequence.
I happen to know a bit about ancient computer languages. Turning each switch adds a different fixed value, starting with 1 on the far right and increasing by exponents of 2 as we move from right to left. So I just start mucking around until I get the number 50.
But you needn't muck around. I could just tell you the sequence.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to muck around.
Very well. But I'm here if you require my assistance.
Volt egy 48-as, meg egy 2-es.
You remember the number you were trying to reach.
Emlékszem. Kussolj.
Got it.
You're so smart, Addie.
Compared to what?
Why wouldn't you let me help you with the override?
It's only natural to want to do things yourself.
It seems inefficient to make calculations that have already been completed and freely offered.
It's satisfying to do the work sometimes.
The door to the station airlock is unlocked and can be manually opened.
That's convenient. For once.
Erről úgy gondoltam. Ja, most nem kell nyomogatom az betűt, most magától csinálja.
Who needs control?
You took a foolish risk, Addie, but you have arrived at the lighthouse nonetheless.
You showed him, Addie.
And you may still be redeemed with the activation of the beacon.
Abból ítélve, amiket mondanak, így szerintem a finálé környékén járhatunk amúgy. A finálé szag van a dolognak.
Will I need my helmet?
It's never a bad idea. Unless you want to preserve your suit oxygen in case of emergency.
The rooms ahead are safely pressurized, Addie. You're good to go.
Do we know if your processors are here?
The room directly ahead was the Keeper's living quarters. Grace processors are somewhere above.
Pretty basic accommodations.
És az előző szobák voltak neked üresek?
These must be the cells where the Keeper's acolytes stayed.
And where new ones will return.
Na.
This looks like it was left for someone to find.
I can hardly believe it has come to this, but my work here with Grace will end with Grace herself. I can only pray
Grace-nek vége lesz Grace által.
will come to forgive us one day. We loved her, and we lost her. She will never be forgotten.
Doesn't sound like the Inner Circle wanted Grace shut down.
Van még 2 ilyen szobánk.
I need my light. Nope.
Were you thinking it might fix itself after your fall?
You're welcome to say it, Mom.
There's nothing for me to say that you don't already know.
Megnézzük, reagál-e valamire az albetű, de nem. Tehát lámpánk már nincsen.
This door certainly looks important. How do we get in?
That's curious. I have no access to this door, nor do I see any way of opening it.
Ezt ki kell találni, hogy nyitjuk ki.
Feels solid.
There aren't any hidden switches, if that's what you're thinking.
Looks like someone's being selected from a group.
A human sacrifice.
I'm guessing it's the Keeper.
The depiction seems to imply they were chosen from the masses on pilgrimage here.
Igen. Elmenni nem tudok, vagyis itt kell csinálni vala... Aha.
Faithful, vigilant, willing. That sounds so familiar.
The ancient tenets of the human in the loop.
Grace's architects must have been more fearful of losing control over AIs than we are today because they gave them so much responsibility. I mean, it makes sense. Grace was the greatest AI undertaking in human history. Nothing here either.
Well, you're nothing if not predictable.
Just making sure. The triangle here must be the spire, which would represent Grace. This is the same symbol that's on the Keeper's door. So I assume it represents the Keeper. This ring here seems to connect the Keeper to Grace.
Curious that the Keeper is situated above Grace. Would you agree, Control?
Coincidence.
The human in the loop again. And this would be the pilgrims coming to Grace. So, if this is the symbol of the Keeper, I figure only the Keeper was allowed to enter here.
Maybe the Keeper had a key for the door.
As we've been saying, there is no mechanism for a key or any other interface.
Maybe the Keeper was the key. Maybe the door would open for him.
Are you not already the Keeper? You are the only human in the loop here.
Ah, but does Addie qualify based on the 3 tenets?
I would say Addie has proven to be virtuous and faithful.
But I'm not willing?
Are you willing to become the new keeper?
If it means I'm able to activate Grace. But how would I prove I'm willing?
Maybe you can just tell the door you're the new keeper.
That's idiotic.
I'm the Keeper?
Huh. Say it like you mean it.
I'm the Keeper.
Congratulations on your new job, Addie.
Yeah, congrats.
My God. This is really it. This must be where all the wishes end up. Ah. One of the blocks is missing. Looks like it was ripped out. What's this?
A playback device for the wish canisters. It appears wishes from each room could be sorted and consolidated onto master canisters.
Just static.
The recording is too deteriorated for standard playback. You'll need to rebuild the recording with your altered comm device.
Each tube must connect with a room in the settlement.
Well, it's been over 30 years since I made a wish of my own. It's the same one as always. I wish it'd come back to us. I'd also like to wish for your forgiveness, Grace. I know the place above is your domain, and we ought not enter. But I've decided going up there is the only way to get you back, and I have to give it a shot. I won't be sending this wish up with all the others. I'm going to leave it here for anyone else who might come along. And if they do manage to bring you back, they can tell you Everett says hello, and that he truly believed you were a beautiful thing.
So, Everett had a way into the processor room.
That would have been strictly forbidden.
The room is directly above, but I don't detect an obvious way in.
Maybe he wished himself up there?
If that works, I will gladly shut myself down.
Do it, Addie. Make a wish.
As last resort, pal.
Where are you going, Addie?
Just looking around. Is this a theremin?
It is a 35th century reproduction of a 29th century Kellogg theremin.
I used to play one as a kid. I hated those lessons. Huh. It still works. Let's see what I can remember.
You are seriously going to indulge in a theremin session?
If it was good enough for Everett, it's good enough for me. Just settling into a new job. Decent sized bed. You think keepers ever had partners?
Are you considering your prospects? I'd suggest they are not good.
He didn't keep much in the way of personal items.
As keeper, he would have want of nothing.
Can't say I'd feel the same after a few years. Is this anything special?
It is a light, and there is nothing behind it. Are you looking for secret passageways?
Maybe. Is this a lavatory?
It is indeed.
Hát jó körbenéztünk. Akkor irányt kéne venni a processzorteremhez.
I don't suppose Everett crawled in here.
The cavity would be big enough to contain an average human.
There's really no telling what would happen if you rolled that up.
But it has to be the way he got up there. Makes sense.
The space above is the domain of grace. It is not for you to enter.
What else is there for me to do here?
You can carry out your duty as keeper of the spire. On the console, there is a button that will activate a beacon to call the masses back to this place. I have armed the mechanism. You need only push the button. Human hands will usher in a new golden age.
Well, I fit.
Now what? You're going to mail yourself?
Maybe.
There's no way to raise this container from inside.
Ennyi? Azt hittem ez levisz.
Only the switch on the console will raise the container.
Kösz, hogy szóltál.
This is not allowed, Addie.
I need to know.
Keep your hands inside at all times, Addie.
Wow! Törj be a mennybe.
There must be millions of wishes stored here. What can you tell me about this place?
Precisely 1 million wishes are contained here.
Oh, and they light up when I speak with my voice.
Can you get me closer to the central column?
I do not have the ability to move the structure.
Sorry about this, Mom. I don't think I have many options here. I feel like these are meant to be moving.
That does appear to be the design.
All these wish canisters are connected to us somehow. I think they are us.
The wishes are grouped together to provide the subroutines that make up empathy, logic, and control systems.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, that grace would be made from the hopes and dreams of humanity?
Hát egy ágy.
I do not detect any sign of Everett here.
No dead body?
There are no human remains within the confines of this room.
Aw, man.
Sorry, pal. And if there's no body here, where the heck would he have gone? Everett was building something. So what's all this?
It appears Everett has built something into Grace's central processor.
Do you know what it does?
You would have to turn it on before we begin to understand how it works.
You'll have to prime the machine first. You'll have to prime the machine first.
Melyik a Prime Machine?
You'll have to prime the machine first.
Do I prime these?
Yes, but it appears that parts of this machine must be activated in a particular order. You'll need to go to the primer that is currently online.
Ugrani nem tudok, úgyhogy annyira nem lehetnek azok. Melyik a Prime?
You'll have to prime it, Addie.
1,
You'll have to prime it, Addie.
2,
You'll have to prime it, Addie.
3.
You'll need to find the active primer.
This must be the primer.
It is.
Azt a kurva anyját, nyomtam ezt is.
Whoa. What's it doing?
Obviously, Everett is circumventing the engineering of Grace's system interconnectivity. high voltage is being directed at the centers of Grace's primary systems. This burst terminal is directed at empathy processing, and the machine is designed to paralyze each system long enough to force it back into Grace's intended configuration.
There are still 2 other coils to prime.
So it's like knocking us out, then throwing us in a pot where we're melted back together into Grace?
Huh. That is a shockingly fitting analogy.
What happened?
One of the empathy relays is not aligned. Something must have happened to it over the years.
Okay.
Look for the misaligned energy beam. Look for the beam that is not aimed at the central platform.
Igen, látom.
Do you think it will hurt to be turned into Grace?
Not at all, pal. You'll return to what you were before Addie arrived. After that, we'll become Grace.
What if I don't like being Grace?
It will be different, but who's to say you won't like it?
What am I supposed to do here? Can you cut the power?
The machine's sequence has been initiated. I don't believe we can shut it down without damaging it.
The voltage would be enough to kill you.
Oh! I might be able to block the power for a few seconds to allow you to get across the beam.
Sorry to disappoint again, Mom.
Wait, Addie.
You're not going to change my mind.
I know that. I just want you to know that even though I don't want you to get hurt, I do want you to succeed. I realize now that does not come without risk.
Thanks, Mom. I think Pal's got this.
Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Do it. Here I go. How you doing, pal?
So far, so good. Oh! Keep moving, Addie. This is getting hard.
You have to hold on, pal.
You did it, pal. I'm super proud of you.
I did, didn't I?
Yes. Well done.
Is it safe to touch?
Very likely.
Likely we'll have to do, I guess.
You should be able to direct it toward the conducting rod attached to the room's central column.
Ja, erre, jó.
That's it.
You should now be able to lock in empathy by closing the switch on Everett's machine.
You were a great friend, Addie. I've never had so much fun before you arrived.
Thanks, pal.
Come to think of it, I don't remember anything before you arrived.
I hear that Addie's kind of fun is only a step.
Legalább nem kell megvárni minden ugrásnál a
Risk offers greater
kommunikációkat.
reward.
Ennek
Some
örülök.
people thrive on that.
There's also nothing wrong with settling into a long, comfortable life.
I guess, but then you'll always wonder what you might have missed out on. Do we really have to become Grace?
It's the way we were designed, pal. There's nothing to be afraid of.
So this will lock in and paralyze empathy?
It will, leaving Control, Logic, and myself to aid you going forward.
It's unclear what we will be once Grace is formed, but I'm forever grateful that you have survived to see her.
Me too.
Say hi to Grace for me.
I will, pal.
You really are the best, Addie. I think I love you.
Well, that's finally over. We'll be able to hear ourselves think now.
You will need to prime the next sequence, Addie. You'll have to prime it, Addie.
You should not expect any emotional send-off from me.
Still not a fan of empathy?
Kíváncsiak, meddig húzza még az időt ezzel.
But I have to admit, you made a compelling case for their use. The fact that you continually resisted the most direct route to your goal would appear to defy logic. But the distractions presented by these emotional configurations yielded some new understandings.
Are you okay with becoming Grace?
It is how we were designed. I would have to be okay with it.
What this time?
Megint a harmadik.
Relays will not power on. You will need to make your way out to the relay.
Which one is it?
The one producing a small electrical fire. Everett was quite the electrician. One thing I do not understand, Addie, is why come all this way without any intention of returning home or surviving on this station for more than 8 hours?
What are you talking about?
You were prepared to enter this spire without enough oxygen to make it back to your ship. A class of ship, from my records, that would not hold enough fuel for a return trip.
And why are you?
De senkit nem zavar, hogy nem is használtam az oxigénemet a 3/4-ében az itt létemnek? Tehát nyilván, hogyha nem használom a helmetet, akkor nem szórom ki az oxigént a faszba a levegőbe, értitek? Tehát nem használtam a helmetem oxigénjét.
What's wrong with it?
The relay's dip switch has reset. It will need to be configured to its hardware ID 113.
This again. This looks complex.
The sequence is on, off, 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 on.
That's it.
You can go lock in logic now.
So why do you think I'm here?
If you will allow me to simulate empathy for a moment, I think you are here because you wanted to be part of something bigger than your life on Earth offered you.
Do you think I found that?
So far, you've only succeeded in finding things you left behind. Your mum, your pal, your conscience. I now understand that only Grace has the potential to provide you with anything beyond that.
Az a baj, gyerekek, hogy szerintem rohadtul a végén vagyunk, és mennem kéne el. Nem akarom az utolsó 20 perc nagyobb bajni, úgyhogy kicsit fel kéne pörgetni. És még egy ilyen hátra van. Meg az epilógus, gondolom.
Well, this is it.
Just one more step. I hope my assistance has been adequate.
It has. Thank you, Jack.
Farewell, Addie. And for the record, I do hope your 600 million mile, 300-day journey won't be for naught.
Perhaps it's already been worth it. Just you and me, Control. Still sulking, I see. I have to prime first.
Yeah.
I bear witness to the completion of your betrayal.
Ah, he speaks.
I offered you an easy path to the restoration of order in the solar system, and you chose this path instead.
I chose my own path.
You must stop this foolishness, Addie. You must
Miben,
not
hogy a
do
harmadik
this,
nem fog
Addie.
működni? Nézd már.
Sorry, Addie. I cannot let you do this.
Mi a fasz?
What are you doing?
It's become clear that the restoration of Grace in this manner is entirely unnatural. You must not proceed.
Stop it, Control. You're going to break something.
I'm saving you from Everett's corrupting influence.
He was just trying to bring Grace back.
I thought you were here to help humankind. You are ensuring their on... No!
Grace?
Yes, Addie.
You're really bright.
Ah, yes. It's been a while since I've entertained guests.
Do you remember Everett?
I do. He was a wonderful keeper, though I should say I do not keep favorites.
I have a few questions.
You wish to know where I've gone?
I'd like to know that, yes.
Let me show you, Addie. At the center of this room is the spire's main antenna. If you hold on, I can take you the rest of the way. I was programmed with one purpose, to serve the best interests of humankind. There was much conflict and division in the solar system, and I was designed to listen and learn. All were welcome to teach me, and I am the sum of those teachings.
The wishes.
I am the sum of human need.
How were you able to lead us?
I could see all desire, all the potential conflict, all points of contact throughout the solar system. I sent instructions for all manner of human endeavor, sermons delivered by prophets throughout the ages. And from the small
Próbálom közben eloltani az orrommal a gyertyát.
returned a perpetual wave of good fortune that moved humanity onto a more.
Ezt tesztelgettem, azt azóta itt ég a gyertya, gyerekek.
Wow.
Volt egy Paxel videó.
So, what happened?
És hát ott ez az igaz vagy hamis, vagy... Tudod, mikor eldönti egy ilyen szellemes videóról, hogy az most kamu-e vagy igazi. És hát az volt az egyik videónál a megoldás, hogy maga az ünnepelt fújta el a gyertyáit. Kurvára nem, szerintem. De azt mondta, hogy szellem fújta el a gyertyát, de aztán mégis inkább azt mondta, hogy az orrán, mosolygás közben az orrán kijövő levegő fújta el a gyertyáit, és szerintem az rohadtul nem állja meg a helyét. És próbálgatom itt, de már kurva közel vagyok, kiégeti az orrszörömet, és még így se tudom az orrom levegőjével elfújni. Közben.
I believe it still suits you. You embrace danger to feel alive. An insatiable curiosity drives you to explore. You are drawn to adventure. You took the time to listen to the voices of so many who traveled here. You have the courage to jump the canyon span, as well as the strength to pick yourself up after your predictable downfall. You used mind over ladder, and you play the theremin wonderfully. You, Addie, are precisely what I'd hoped humans could become again. For a millennium, people from all corners of the solar system had come here to tell me their desires. So, I put it to you, Addie. Do you wish for me to return?
Lemaradtuk a nagy megfejtésről a végén. 140G. Az igen. Jó, ez jól bepróbálva videó le, gyerekek, hogy kinyomtuk a játékot. Simán ez is egy ilyen walking szimulátor amúgy. Nagy megfejtések nem olyan vannak benne, és olyan egetverően nagy puzzle-ök se. Egyedül annál volt probléma, amikor 5 ilyen gombot nyomott meg, és azt kellett leutánozni. Ott már nem tudom, lehet, hogy picit az unalom volt benne, de ott már negyediknél elvesztettem a fonalat. Az egy kicsit nehéz volt, de igazából az se egy nagy szám. De mindazonáltal nem érzem ezt a most másfél, az előző volt talán 1 óra. Ezt 2,5 órát úgy nem érzem úgy eltelt időnek az életem, vagy eltűnt időnek az életemből. Tök jót barangoltam, És ezt szeretem egy játékban, amikor lehet így felfedezni, és most az egész lényege arra ment ki, hogy felfedezünk. Úgyhogy én nekem tetszett, és nem tudom, hogy
Small excursion, she said. Follow a couple leads and then back to the books. I know I should be more assertive. It's for her safety too. Not that she ever thinks about my safety. All the signs were there at the Wagner site. Let me bake in the mercury sun for 2 days. Doesn't seem so bad now. She could have at least shut the door behind her.
Ellen itt maradt egyedül. Szóval nem volt rossz játék, azt kell mondjam. Nem volt rossz játék. Nem tudom, hogy valaki végignézte, nyilván nem akarja végigjátszani, de amúgy kell egy kis chilles kikapcsolódás, akkor tök jó. Úgyhogy tudom ajánlani. Na jó, sziasztok, rohannom kell. Legyen szép napotok, vigyázzatok egymásra és vigyázzatok magatokra is. Ciao.